Okay.
Are you buckwheating?
I was buckwheating.
I just saw that episode recently. Eddie Murphy one.
Episode? It's a movie.
No, it's a TV show, you youngins.
Hello, everybody. This is Achievement Hunting 101. FufuCuddilyGonePoof has gone poof, so I'm going to be taking over hosting duties today. This is level 79, which of course is one I could do off the top of my head. 69 plus 10. Looks like we already have a title for this show, but we'll surprise you with that one. First, I'm going to introduce Mr. Rocker Dude.
What's up, L?
Hello, Corey. Next up, we got the man with the plan, Nate KooshMoose.
Hello, how are you?
I'm swell.
All right.
And last but not least, we have some random patron that we picked up off the street. Madam, Carpe Adam, say what's up.
What the hell's going on out there?
Oh, good one, good one. Now, you may have heard, in air quotes, Adam on the 20 questions last time. But sounds like we can hear him today.
Yeah, hopefully I sound better.
What? No, we hear you, Adam. We hear you.
Don't yell.
Can you hear me now?
Oh. I like to do clipping. Oh, that's an old commercial from like the aughts. What do we call those? The umlauts? That's what I was going to say.
I'm too young for this.
Yeah, there's three olds. We got three men and a baby, basically.
Oh, gosh.
We should name the episode that, maybe. I don't know. But we got a good one. All right, what's on tap today? What's on double tap? Nate, what's going on?
Oh, so this past weekend we did, we had a fun free play. There was Wreckfest, and then there was Zombieland Double Tap Road Trip, which apparently is based off of a movie. And
wait a minute,
a sequel,
what movie?
In fact.
A sequel. It's based off of Zombieland Double Tap.
Oh, I thought you meant the Tom Green movie Road Trip.
No.
All right, thank goodness.
So this game is basically a twin-stick shooter, shmup type thing, and it was completable in about... I feel like it took me 6 to 7 hours max. One of the achievements takes 88 minutes all by itself, but it's cheesable because you can basically go to a spot on a map where you can't be hit, and you just let the computer or let the Xbox sit there with the controller plugged in for 88 minutes. You come back, you let yourself die, and you get that achievement. It was enjoyable. It wasn't bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been enjoyable full price because I think it was like
It's like $40.
I was going to say $40. Even then, it seemed wrong. Yeah, a $40 game. But for that weekend, it was free. And I know a bunch of people got the completion. I think Chindocta. I think, of course, Red got it. I think there were some other people. I'll have to check that. But that was one thing I did, and I'll pass the mic.
Let's see who wants to talk. Raise your hand.
So I did not play Zombie Double Tap. I wish I did, but fingers crossed for Game Pass. Let's see. All right, I do have some gentlemen's reviews for you guys, but I'm going to hold off on those for a little bit. I'll go last with those. Otherwise, I want to tell you about a game for olds, Zacariah Pinball.
Whoa.
You might know of this game. It is free to play, and it has very good TA, about 3,500, I think. And by 3,500, I definitely mean 2,600. 2,600 TA, 1,000 gamer score.
Another
$3.99 is the price. Yes, yeah. And I got the completion in, I don't know, about an hour, maybe a little bit over. I did, yeah. All it cost me was $9.99 to buy a DLC pack.
Plus shipping and handling?
And your dignity.
A little bit. So there's a DLC pack. There's a lot of DLC packs for this game. There's one in particular called the electromechanical DLC. It's $10, and it gives you access to a slew of tables. I don't know, probably 10 or 12 tables. I guess people did the research, and those tables are the ones that make the achievements the easiest. They certainly weren't hard, so I'll just have to take their word for it. But I needed it for GTASC. That was a quick 1,500 TA difference, and it helped me out in the long run. But the achievements are pretty easy, like I said, with the right tables. They are each pretty much tied to a mode, and you have to get so many points in that mode. And it's a survivor mode, and a eliminator mode, and a lamp hunter mode. And basically, they give you objectives. One of them you have to stay alive so long. One of them you have to hit this section of the pinball table, and then move to this one, and then move to that one, and you only have a certain amount of time. One's a point one. You kind of get the idea. It's questy as a pinball game could be, even though it's not a gainer. It's still an easy one if you're willing to spend $10. From what I saw, there is a free table, maybe two, that I did use for one of the achievements. Somebody did recommend on that one. But other than that, you're going to have to pay money to play this game. I don't see how the free part of it would help you get a completion.
Yeah,
at
I
least
did that one
anywhere
for
close
the
to
Officer
an hour.
Zero gamer tag. So all I got was the multiplier achievement.
Oh yeah.
If I
Yeah, this is a
remember
good
right,
Z
it took me
one
longer
for
than
sure.
I probably should have, but I'm terrible at pinball games. I'm so bad.
They are not my forte. I was pleasantly surprised to see that this one was quick. I've been eyeing it all GTASC, and I had to pull out the big guns and the big wallet for this heck of a 2 weeks that we had.
Circling back around to something that we were talking about before recording, did you guys ever play the Timon and Pumbaa PC pinball game? It would have been out in the
not that I recall.
in the 96 range, I guess. Nobody?
No.
Just me.
So
My pinball experience is Sonic Spinball.
So it was a PC pinball game?
It was a PC pinball
I'll have
game.
to look this up.
Might have been on the Mac as well. But it was Timon and Pumbaa, or however you pronounce that, from the animated Lion King, because back then movies were animated and they weren't live action versions of animated movies. I know. It's crazy.
And I'm looking at this now. It looks very 1997.
Yeah.
Oh, now I got to look it up.
But that was a fun game, and that is probably where my love for PC pinball games came from. Not that I play many of them, but that's kind of that is the stick to which all PC pinball games are measured for me in terms of fun.
Jungle Games.
Oh yeah.
There was also a Pokemon pinball game that I played a ton of.
1995. Pokemon Pinball was actually pretty awesome.
It had its own little like rumble pack.
Mm-hmm. It was its own little thing, yeah.
That was some special shiznit.
Yeah, this came up because my family had the fortune, my fortune's gone now. Well, we saw The Lion King on Broadway. And it was a good time. It was a good time. We got to go on the train to the city together. And
I hear it's no cats, but...
Oh, God. It's very interesting. There's
Really?
very cool stuff going on. But more importantly... I don't know. I was asleep. No, I would never sleep after spending that much money. No, we had a good time. How this relates to video games, I don't know, but I guess they made a really hard Lion King video game for Super Nintendo, right?
And obviously
Corey
PC.
loves that one. Corey loves it. No, I'm watching it now. I'm just transfixed on this. Yeah, this is
I don't know
bad,
if I
dude.
mentioned it. I used it over the 2-week period. It doesn't have a lot of difference, but yeah, the Lion King Aladdin collection, that one can be done in about an hour as well.
Now, when you say that, you mean someone that can do other games.
No.
Even you can get this completion.
Wow. What about Foof?
That's an endorsement.
Even Foof.
Okay,
well, Foof would have to turn on his
He might have to
Xbox.
research who Don Bluth is, but he can do this.
And Walt Disney probably he doesn't know either.
If you played the SNK collection, I think it's made by the same people, and the same cheese works. You can actually, for most of the achievements, you can watch somebody play the game, start playing at a certain point, and get the achievement.
That's awesome.
It's great.
I mean, I would never do that.
Awesome.
I mean, yeah, it's awesome and it's not awesome.
It's both of
Well,
those.
no, because I really wanted to play this game, and now my ambition and time tells me I cannot play this game because I have other points to get.
If you're gonna cheat, at least do the rewinds and at least play through once, then do all the cheats. I don't know.
Well, so when
spending
GTASC
money?
is over, are you going back to it?
Is there a stack that I don't know about?
Wait, so you beat it already?
Yeah, it's
Completed?
out of here.
All right. Well, you got it physically, so you got to pass it along, yo. Pass that Dutchie to the left-hand side.
That was a Christmas present to my mom. I had to borrow
You
a mother's
lying
copy
sack.
of a video game.
Your
Did
mom?
you say
Thanks,
Dutchie?
Mom.
I got it for Christmas.
That's it, Dutchie?
What'd I say?
He did say Dutchie. Yep.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
What
That's what the
means.
kids in high school used to say.
Did you know that Ronald Reagan's nickname was Dutch?
Yes.
I learned that from Reagan.
I
Gorbachev.
might have learned that in Raven and Gorbachev. Yeah.
There's. I was going to say he's never heard of Ronald Reagan, but then I guess the video game. All right. He's heard of him.
Yeah, it has some stupid 0-point achievements.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm sure you love those.
Actually, those aren't bad because they actually
track.
don't erase your game save data, and they track. I have no ambition to go back and get them because they are worth literally nothing to
It
me.
wasn't bad. I stayed up way too late last night finishing that. Finally getting a completion in an achievement for RTDL.
Tell us about it.
It was frustrating because I'm not the best at twin stick shooters and stuff, but for the most part it's pretty easy. It's just there were a few levels as I got further into it that got difficult. There's one where the I guess the computer is taking over these little train car things and it keeps smashing you, and then you have to try and run around those, and then the floor drops down and you die. And so I had some moments of almost rage, but it wasn't too bad. It wasn't as bad as a couple other games that I've played recently. So I enjoyed it for the most part. And then I used the cheese to get it over with a little
Yeah,
quicker.
it's pretty good.
Skip a few levels.
How'd you do on that
I did great
trivia?
because of the internet. I didn't miss any until after I got my achievement. Then I missed one because I just guessed. But
Was it easier or harder than Oxenfree trivia?
easier. Way easier.
Yeah, you were the one that got hit the
Yeah.
wrong button when because it was upside
It's
down.
easier
right?
because there's no time limit. You
Yeah, I
can sit there
remember.
as long as you need to.
Ah,
Use the Google to your advantage, or the Bing,
That's
whichever one
good.
you prefer. Not Chandler, the other Bing.
wow.
There's him
I would
too.
have said Crosby, but wow. Okay. Speaking of RTDL, that's been my main focus as of late.
As of late,
I don't know why I keep coming back
As
to
of
the stupid
always.
list, but that's what I've been doing.
I've been terrible.
What have I done recently?
That was my first achievement.
I had. You have?
yeah. So we have an RTDL newbie and a veteran.
Noob. Yeah, so I have actually spent a couple of days working on an achievement in Spec Ops: The Line. It's called Sierra Hotel. Do you guys know what that means?
It's not something dirty, is it? Is it
Yeah,
like a
but why don't you
euphemism?
tell me?
It what? Yes, it's totally a euphemism. No,
Wait,
it's
That one up on
It is
Urban
now.
Dictionary.
it's Yeah, maybe it is. Before I say no. No, that's just what do you call it? The alphabet. When they talk into the radio, they say Sierra for S and hotel for H. And
Sierra with an H.
So this achievement is really just called Shh. So I'm not quite sure why it's called that. If you're a WWE fan, there's a stable called The Shield, and it would start off by saying all the call letters. So that may or may not be how I know about this. It was Sierra Hotel Echo. No, India Echo Hotel. Wait,
so
what?
did you have to go out of your way to get the achievement, or was it part of the story?
Oh, so the achievement is for completing 3 chapters in a row without being killed or reloading. So, of course, the easiest thing to do is put it on the easiest difficulty and play through the first 3 chapters.
Besides calling Michelle over.
No, that joke is very old.
I like to hear it, though.
Okay. No, I do these things myself. Thank you very much. So, of course, it took me several tries. Something would go wrong. A grenade would come out of nowhere and kill me. That was the biggest culprit because there's nothing you can do about that. It's a one-hit kill. But I finally got that one done last night. What else have I been working on?
I did too.
Well, I Urban Dictionary'd that, and it says
Tell me,
Sierra
please.
Hotel is a term used by fighter pilots and those who want to be, which means stuff hot, but not stuff. Whatever is described by that term is wonderful. The words Sierra and Hotel are part of the aviation phonetic alphabet. And then the example is, wow, Dad, your new jacket is Sierra Hotel.
Well, that was pretty tame for Urban Dictionary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
was
I guess
expecting worse.
3 levels in a row is pretty wonderful, I guess.
Well,
I
took me longer than it should have. What's up, Adam?
I was just going to say I spent a good hour or so in Sniper. Which one is that one? The Sniper one. Not
Sniper Elite?
Yeah, Sniper Elite 4. Trying to get an achievement for my RTDL. And I don't think I unlocked any achievements the entire time. So that didn't go so well. It got kind of boring, just trying not to get caught. And I played on easy, so when I did get caught, I was able to run around and still shoot the bad guys before they killed me, so that was good. But I tried Turn On, which I got tons of achievements, but not either of the ones I needed. So, I don't know.
Have you beaten Turn On yet? Have you gotten through it all?
No,
story-wise?
I'm actually stuck on one of those endless runner levels.
Okay, yeah, I was going to mention that those are the worst part of the game.
Yeah, they're a royal pain
You're
in the
stuck
butt.
you're stuck as in you can't beat it, or you're trying to get the max score on it, or whatever you need.
That one I have not beat yet.
Okay.
I was...
Yeah, I think I left all of mine to the very end and came back and did those.
Why would you do that? It makes the rest of the game just dreadful. When you go to clean up, you just know that, it's going to suck.
Yeah, you spread it out over like 9 months, and it's not bad.
And it's one of those games, or one of those parts of a game where the devs said, okay, they're going to try to jump to the next level right here, so let me make sure I put the red lightning bolt in that one spot. So many times it drove me crazy. I had to shut it off. I was about to get mad.
Which is weird because I use that game to relax, right? Like the other levels are relaxing. And for me, it's just like I can kind of zone out and just go collect sparks. And then you get to these controller throwing type levels. Yeah, it just didn't make sense. It seemed way out of place.
It reminded me of when I was playing Telltale Walking Dead for the first time. And I'm going along and everything's real easy going. You just kind of make your selections for what your dialogue's going to be, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere there's a zombie and you've got to move your stick to the right spot and hit the right button on your controller, and then once you do that, then it's going to move the thing over somewhere else. You got to move it again, and it's like I'm sitting here leaning back in my chair, completely relaxed, and now I'm dead to a zombie because just all of a sudden you threw some more difficult mechanics at me out of nowhere. I'm almost asleep. I don't like when games do that.
What mechanics were there in that game? Walking left and walking right, and then
throw that
hitting
kind
A?
of stuff at you. Yeah, the quick time stuff. I hate that.
Quick time, yeah.
But
I would die on purpose every time just to see the death scenes. They would put you right back where you were
so
anyway.
It's not too bad, but
I don't remember anything too hard in that game.
I got through it. It wasn't like Spiral Splatter. That game's the worst.
One day your time will come.
That one's not going to happen.
No. Done with it. Done with it.
Until I get a touch screen or something.
So, Corey, I have some exciting news.
I want to hear some exciting news.
All right. On Thursday, the exciting quartet of Prue, Matriarch, FufuCuddilyGonePoof has poofed, and Big Al reached level 50 in Borderlands 2.
That's not a completion, but I am proud of all of you.
I was trying to get you to spit out your water again. This is a monumental thing that happened.
And your Discord message makes a lot more sense now.
Where I'm trying to beg you for guns.
See?
Well, Chippa had offered to lend us some guns. So he turns on his Xbox, and it's not installed.
How convenient.
And then he installs it. And then he says, oh, you were playing the 360 one? I installed the one version. And then he turns on his 360, and everything's gone because it went over to the one version. So that sucked. Well, that's what he says. Maybe he's lying.
Yeah.
It'll got exported.
They don't take your saves. You get to keep your old saves.
I don't know.
Calling them out.
Damn it, Chippa.
I tried to get you some, but apparently there is a known issue with two-factor authentication and Xbox 360 logins, and I haven't been able to log into mine for months. I guess I need to turn that off and be unsecure.
Yeah, I think you're both just coming up with reasons not to help at this point.
Hey, that's a real one.
What? X-Factor security?
Two-factor.
Oh. Well, anyway, we're going to keep this up. We have to finish the Tiny Tina DLC and the Circle of Slaughter stuff. And do the challenges. Oh, my gosh. Hopefully it's some easy game we could work on.
You guys are not close.
Tell me we're close. Lie to me.
You're close, buddy.
Thank you. Yay. Nate, you been playing anything else?
Yes, I have. So I bag on him a lot, but Mattism, good guy Mattism, my buddy, we went ahead and we played Disney Infinity 2.0 for the X1 and for the 360, and we were working on achievement. Yeah. So actually, this was both of these games were my goals last year. I wanted to complete them both, and I didn't play them at all. So this year, Mattism and I were just talking, and we said, you know what? We really need to get around to doing this one particular achievement, which is survival of the fittest. Now, he had already done it on the X1, but we both needed to do it on the 360. So, for whatever reason, we did it on the the Xbox One first, I believe.
But how are you doing this?
So the way this works, so the achievement we're working on is called Survival of the Fittest, and it's complete the exploration survival mode. And depending on the play sets you've purchased, you can do this in. I want to say the Brave world is one where you can do it, but we were doing it in the Avengers playset. And basically what you're doing is you're playing 50 levels of Horde mode. So you load up into a map. It takes 30 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds to generate a map. You just go through and you kill everything on the level. And, then you talk a little bit while you're waiting for it to load, and then you go kill the next level and blah, blah, blah. So we had no problems on the first night that we did this on the X1 where Mattism was hosting. The next night that we went through, we did Disney Infinity 2.0 on the 360, going for the exact same achievement. And for whatever reason, neither of us had done the prerequisites that would allow us to open the door that would lead us to the exploration survival mode. So we started working on it. Mattism was trying to keep his streak alive, so he was off going to get an achievement somewhere else. So I started to do the prerequisites that would allow us to go in, thinking that there were 8 doors. So I went through the first door, Mattism joined me, we finished that level, and the next thing you know, boom, the door that we need for exploration survival mode is open. So I go into it. Well, what I was not aware of or completely forgot about is when you go to do this, you want to set the difficulty to easy. And the reason for this is every I don't know, 10 or 15 levels, they bump up the difficulty. So when you start on normal, by the time you get to level 20, you are on the expert difficulty or the extreme difficulty, the hardest difficulty where the enemies actually do damage to your shields. And then once your shields are gone, they start taking down your health and then you die. Now, the way this game works is if your character dies and in this mode, they're gone. You have to pick up a new character. Well, from the night before, my Iron Man, which was a level 20, was working just fine. On the 360, he came in as a level 5. So that's a big difference between 5 and 20. So I couldn't use Iron Man. So I start using Thor. And then, I was using Black Widow, who was 20 on both. Black Widow died because she doesn't have shields. I was just like, oh man, this got difficult really quickly. And he's like, did you start off on easy? I said, oh no. So we kept going. And then I was using Thor, and then Thor died. And then we found out that we could put on different characters that we didn't think we could. So I put on Mr. Incredible, and I started picking up these, the giant destroyer robots that we called affectionately by a name for a similar-looking character from Penny Arcade, the Fruit Guys, as we call them. And I was able to throw him off the edge, and I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool. And then Mattism was like, well, if you can do that, let's try to get, what's her name from Brave? Merida. Yeah, so we both load up our Meridas because she has this cool arrow attack that basically chain attacks enemies here nearby. So we did that, and we went from completing a level in about 2 minutes to completing a level in about 10 minutes. And just because we were too stubborn to restart. The first night, it took us 1 hour and 32 minutes to get all 50. The second night, I think it took us 2.5 hours to get it. But it was epic because it really was down to like the last level, the last character that both of us had. Like the stakes were high, and Saucy jumped in at like the last 10 levels or so. And so that was fun too, because he would be talking and be like, "Hey, Saucy, shut up!" And then we'd have to like focus and take out these things. But so that was a lot of fun. And thankfully, we got Survival of the Fittest out of the way for both of us, for both the 360 and the X1. And man, that was it was kind of crazy. And it would have been a lot easier if we had started on easy, but it was a lot more memorable. Just going in there on normal and then just having to really struggle for it.
So I'm very confused right now.
Okay.
Those servers went down 3 years ago. How are you playing together?
Because we are not downloading levels from the server. We're doing peer-to-peer.
Really?
Yeah, so some things are still available, things that are peer-to-peer, such as inviting someone to your toy box or doing this or doing that.
I had no idea.
The achievements where you have to save a level to the cloud or download a level from the cloud and play it, those will be discontinued.
I'll be a monkey's uncle.
Yeah, so there might be some more there for you to get.
Wow.
So do you have like just an army of little toys?
We call them action figures, my dude.
Just checking.
So I was telling Matt this. I was like, okay, it's late and I'm super tired, but I need to put all my dolls away before my daughter comes down in the morning and sees all my toys and starts to play with them. And I literally had 10 of these action figures out before I knew that I couldn't use them all. And I was basically stuck to starting with the Marvel characters, and then once we got into it, then we could switch in some others. But yeah,
That's mind blowing.
yes.
Oh,
I bought a whole bunch when it
have come and helped
shut
you.
down. Well, it was pretty late. I think it was like 2 in the morning. It was like about the time we wrapped up the 360 one. So
Oh, I wouldn't have helped you.
yeah, and it's only 2-player. You can't go in there with more people.
You know, 2 adult
Is
men
it?
playing with their dolls together.
Yeah,
at 2 a.m.
at 2 in the morning. Yeah, there's nothing weird
perfectly
going on.
normal.
Nothing weird going on at all.
I definitely did this with 2 other people. I did it.
Your
Actually, I
daughter
did it
and
with
your
4
son.
I did it 4 players. I did it 4 players on the 360. I believe it or not, the person I did this with was Crandy, of Z to Z fame. I did it
Rain
both
Cloud
versions with-
Randy.
I did both versions with him, and the 360 version I did with a couple of other people, Harmon and Chad and Jesse. Yeah, all 4 of us have the same timestamp, so my mind is not crazy. 4 players can do it. So you learned something now too.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone's going to stick around at 2 a.m. to do
Oh
that.
no, I'm just offering. Now that you did it, I'm going to tell you that I would have helped.
Oh, okay.
That's how this works. Yeah, so for Disney 2.0, I only need the 90 feats on both of them. I've been
You
lazy,
can
I
cheese
guess.
it on the one. You can cheese it on the one. On the 360, you can't. 360, you have to do it naturally. But the X1, you can do 10, delete your save, do 10, delete your save.
But I bought so many of the play sets that I'm going to play them, hopefully one
Okay.
day. Or at least that's what I'm telling myself. I realize now that I started this Christmas 2015, so yeah, it's probably due time.
We are
Good
past
luck.
a point of 100% in your backlog as you
No,
originally
we are-
intended.
We are doing this. As
These are not backwards compatible.
well, 3.0 showed up on my RTDL, and it's fun because right before we started recording, I was working on this actually. So
PUBG.
for 3.0, you need 75 feats. So my kids and I were working on the Battlegrounds expansion, and it's actually a version. Yes, that we were playing PUBG. We got confused. Are you familiar with this one, Koosh?
I think, is that the one that is basically a tower sim or tower defense?
No, this one is the 4-player versus one.
Okay, no, I'm not familiar.
Okay. Yeah, that one is the Stitch. The Lilo and Stitch one. That's what you're thinking of. That's a tower defense one. Yeah, this one's the Battlegrounds. It's a DLC. You have to buy the Battlegrounds battle pack, and you can do it 4 players. So that's pretty cool. So my kids and I were working on that one. So we both did some Disney. It's just weird how this thing works out. Adam, you look like you were chomping at the bit, or you have to pee or something. What's going on?
I was just fixing the camera so you weren't just looking at the top of my head. I just noticed
definitely
that.
you definitely just peed yourself a little. Have you been playing anything else?
The only thing Disney related I played recently was Jedi Fallen Order, which I completed.
That's cheating.
It's not cheating.
Yeah.
That's
The
not
best,
really Disney. All right, I guess it is.
Castleroid there is.
Oh. So not only are you peeing, you have Castleroids too. Interesting.
Yeah, I actually stayed up until almost 5 in the morning.
Wow.
Because
That's dedication.
well, it was getting late, but I knew I was getting to the last part of the story. So I'm like, okay, well, I can finish this out. And it took a bit longer than I expected it to. And when it was all said and done, I just had 2 achievements left that I had to figure out. It was explosive kills and also the time, I forget what it was called, empowered slow is what they call it, where you kind of freeze people in time and kill them. And both of them, I tried to do them the legit way that I guess I had seen, and it never worked. There's no achievement tracking, which is really annoying. You can't see if what you're doing is even working. So I killed like 50 people and never got an achievement. So I found out that the easiest way to get the explosive kills is there's a level where you have 3 flame troopers, and all you have to do is force push them into a wall, they explode, and that's an explosive kill. And if they take any of their counterparts with them, that's a few more. So there's a meditation circle right by that area, so you can just go force push 3 flame troopers, jump up and redo it. So I was able to get that achievement in less than 5 minutes once I figured out that trick. So that was kind of nice.
Nice.
So
yeah, that story, once it gets rolling, like at the very end, like I can understand staying up till 5 because you don't want to come back to that the next day.
The way the planet ended before that, I didn't want to stop. And I had made sure I went through and cleaned up everything as far as collectibles up to that point. So the only thing I needed to do was finish the story and get those last 2 kill achievements, but I had found all of the chests and everything everywhere, which
yeah, that's what I did. I did everything, and then I went in to get the last bit of story, and it was nice because I wasn't just running around looking for stuff. So
I actually thought I was going to end up not getting the completion there for a while, because on one planet there are these lanterns, which I know you're aware of, that you have to throw to burn up some vines or something that are covering things you need to get to. Well, there's a known glitch in the game where all of a sudden they stop respawning. So my aim was so bad, surprise, surprise, that I ran out of lanterns, and one of the chests that I needed to collect was, hidden behind vines, and I couldn't get it.
They've patched that since, right?
It wasn't patched when I played it,
okay.
Which was maybe 2 weeks ago.
Okay, I seem to remember that those would spawn, like as I was, and they just kept spawning as I was doing it. So I don't know if they broke it at some point, but luckily
were.
Oh, okay.
For a few minutes, but I kept missing.
Oh, okay. I think it must have only took me a few tries, but
I could not get the aim down. You're up on this bridge and you're trying to throw it down far away. So I was going all over the place trying to find another lantern. I'm grabbing them from one place, trying to throw them up to where I'm supposed to go to. And of course there's water everywhere. So every time I did that, it got put out. So I finally found out that in the main area, there are some lanterns that are way off on the wall. And if you get your character just right, there's one that you can force pull and then take it back outside and throw it. So after about 5 more attempts, I finally got it.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Corey, you bought this game, right? You going to play it after GTASC's over?
I've already played it.
Did?
I got 1 achievement in it.
Yeah, I challenged him. And
Are you going to, is this the type of game that you're actually going to pay attention to, or are you going to, play with no sound, skip the
I would like to
scenes?
pay attention to it. Hence me not playing it yet because it's GTASC. Yeah, it's also a Vayner, so there's that.
I just don't know if you're going to pay attention to the story.
We'll get back to. We'll see how captivating it is. I don't do Star Wars. I don't know that lore.
I don't do stories either.
You can.
Sure, I do. I just read Great Day for Pup.
You can totally see in my
that was good.
in my TA summary for January, you can tell when I was playing Jedi Fallen Order because my achievements are almost nothing. It's like a couple here and there for a couple weeks, and then I started playing easy stuff again, and it jumped up. So that's the one downside to that game, is it's a slow burn.
Yeah, I have GTASC, and then I have a big push. And so after that push, then we'll talk about these longer narrative journeys.
My goodness. All right, I have a couple more I want to talk about before you get to your gentleman's review, Corey.
Okay.
Okay. My RTDL gave me a couple of games that were both, they both were either launch games or very close to it. They both came out in November 2005. One of them was the underplayed Gun, which I still think has a great story. It just kind of looks not so great because it's really a PS2 game. The great thing about Gun is that you can beat the game once on easy, and then there's a cheat you can do to unlock the achievements for beating it on the 3 other difficulties, because otherwise you would have to play through 4 times because they do not stack. So this is one of the few times where I say, yes, please, cheat. By all means.
I know nothing about this game, but I do see that there is a notes section on the TA game information page that says not backwards compatible. That's a pretty cool filter.
Thanks,
they added
Rich.
to the site. Yeah. Wonder where you got that idea.
I don't know.
Probably discord.io/AH101.
Hashtag TA_feedback.
Probably. If I had to guess.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a cheat code you could put in, and it brings up basically, it's kind of like a debug menu. You can start at any level. You can...
Would you call it a dev console?
No, you don't type in things like that. You just start at different levels. So say there's something called the Pony Express side missions. Normally you would find them throughout the game, but you could just start up the last one and complete it, and you'll get the achievement for beating all of them. And you could do that for certain things. The Bounty Hunter side missions is the one I just did.
Reagan Gorbachev has something.
So
like
that's a
too.
fun little one. What?
No.
Russians?
No.
There's no Russians in the Wild West.
No,
Come on,
if
man.
you start one of the cutscene parts in Reagan Gorbachev and hit the home button, and then go back into the game, it gives you a level select in the menu, and when you do that, it takes you automatically to the last level. So you can go straight to the last level
cool.
and skip some if you want.
I definitely did that. It can't be intentional.
So you have to play
Maybe
up
it is, I don't
to
know.
level, I think, 23 to get all the achievements. So you can go 23 and then do level 32 and be done. Other than your weapon specialist 0-pointers.
All right, the other game I played is called Condemned Criminal Origins.
Obscure stuff.
It's not obscure at all.
Is this the one that doesn't have its whole 1,000
It's got
gamer score?
It's got 76,000 people played it. Yes, I was actually going to ask you a trivia question, and you answered it before I got a chance to ask it.
Yes.
You did good,
got
Corey.
it.
Yes, this game shipped with 970 gamer score, and I guess it was supposed to have some DLC, and it never came out, so they never fixed it. And I've had this game sitting around for a while. It looks like I bean dived it in July 2011, because July is bean dive month. And I didn't get back to it till 2016, and I still haven't finished the campaign. However, the RTDL wants me to complete the campaign, so I guess I have like a day or 2 left. I have 2 more chapters to do.
Good luck.
So I better get on this. But good times. You want to do your gentleman's review, Corey, and then we'll talk about Nate's last jiggity-doo? Hello.
Gentleman's review.
All right.
All right. Here's some quick ones. Some new games that have come out. They will all be out by the time you hear this. The first one, The Office Quest. This is a point-and-click game, and I'm actually having fun with it.
What?
Believe it or not. So it's a kind of a side-scrolling point-and-click game. It's all in this brownish tan tone and black, and the objective is to escape the office. I have not beat this game yet, but I'm probably like in the second act out of 5. It was on PC for a while. I think it's on phones. You could try out the first chapter for free, I think, on there. It's free to play in that aspect. kind of like a Telltale game, but it's pretty charming. The puzzles have not been too hard yet, although I did have to look up one bit that I got to, and go figure, it had to do with something. This is probably very familiar if you're a point-and-click connoisseur, but basically I had to turn something in a particular fashion, but you would have only known that if you paid attention to the wall on a totally different screen that had left and right arrows. Like, why would I pay attention to that? It's crazy. Otherwise, I'm having a lot of fun with this game. It is, however, $12. I don't know why they do that. I think that's a terrible price point. You need to stick it at $9.99 at least if you're going to try to get as much out of it as you can. I think that weird price point always gets less sales, but that's just me. I definitely recommend it on a sale. Whatever that sale is, I don't know. But if you're into the point and clicks, I think this will be a good one. It definitely has the humor to it without having a lot of dialogue. So there's that.
Do you get to beat up a fax machine?
Not yet, but there is one achievement, and I'm looking at it right now. I'm about to. And the description for it is, Angela from accounting will be disappointed. This has to be an Office reference, and I'm so glad that it's in there. None of the other ones match up, but that one does.
You see, Adam, he knows The Office, but I don't think he knows Office Space.
Yeah, I don't think
I do know Office Space. I got lots of flair.
Oh, he does.
Oh, I don't know.
Look at that.
Show me your flair.
He watched the trailer.
No, I used to own that one. So yeah, The Office Quest is out now. I do recommend that one if you are into point and clicks.
I'm curious about it because there was a lot of PC games with Quest in it that were point and clicks. That I'm curious if it borrows from those games.
It could,
like the King's Quest and the Police Quests, and
yeah, I don't have any experience with those. This one seems very toned down from a point and click.
All right.
So like, you don't really have to manage inventory. You don't have to craft anything so far. So I'm liking it because of the simplisticness of it and the setting. I work in an office, so anytime there's that's why I love The Office, because I can put similarities into it to my everyday job, and then I can see funny things in here that I can do the same thing with. So it's just right up my alley as far as its setting. Moving right along, I want to talk about the Ratalaikas of the last week and this week. And this week's is a special hot take. But first, last week's Foxyland 2 came out. The hot sequel to Foxyland original. And this is a platforming game. You're on a Super Mario World type overworld, and you're navigating through different levels. The levels have enemies, and you just platform over them, and it has certain coins in it. You get as many coins as you can along the way, and eventually you get to a boss. That's basically all you have to do to get the achievements. You do not have to finish every level. I think I had to go around the 20-ish levels. After the first boss, you navigate into a desert space that has a few specific animals in it that you have to kill. You do a couple more levels, which are gated by these coins that I mentioned. You get 3 coins per level. You have to get so many in order to advance to get to the 20th level, which is an achievement. Basically, once you get that, you're done with the game. You don't have to keep going with it. If you played the first Foxyland, you definitely know what to expect from this one. There's not much more you can say about it. Has that launch day discount of $4.79. Get it if you want.
Do we want to?
I mean, yeah. Quick 1,000. This one, you could probably, depending on your platforming skills, probably over an hour. Now, I would say.
Where do foxes fall in the animal kingdom as far as you're concerned?
Like, I mean, they're no possum or coons.
But they're right below, or they're way below.
They're right below. They're top tier critters.
What does the fox say? Chivo, 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 bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop.
Now, and actually, I want to bring that up. This game has coons, people.
Whoa.
Put that on in your back pocket. You have to defeat 2 different kinds of coons, and they are tied to achievements. So, note that. The other Ratalaika I want to talk about is actually out today. It's called Milo's Quest. I started Milo's Quest right as we were setting up the podcast. I finished Milo's Quest pretty much right after you guys started talking in the intro about the podcast. So yeah, Milo's Quest is complete. Not to be confused with, what is that game? Miles, it's in Kiko. It's totally different. Kilo.
Miles and Kilo.
This is
another game I'll never complete.
No, I won't complete that one either. But Miles Quest you will complete. Miles Quest is developed by Light Up. And if you are familiar with developer names, they actually have made 2 other Ratalaika published games, Super Willow D-Make and Super Boxland D-Make. The artwork you'll see is very reminiscent of those. I don't know why they didn't put D-Make in the game. It's very much like those in terms of its aesthetics. But basically, you play a cute little dog, and the dog is on a mission. I don't know what the end goal of that mission is, because you don't have to beat the story or the campaign or the story to get all the achievements. So once you get that, you can stop. And that only requires navigating through a couple very simple puzzles and then defeating 2 bosses. You'll get the other stuff along the way. No problems asked. As far as the gameplay goes in these puzzles, they're basically moving boxes. So it pretty much is Super Boxland D-Make on a very dumbed down level. And then there's actually fighting in it-ish. But you can throw that on easy where you don't die. And you can knock that out in definitely under an hour, probably closer to 30 minutes.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yep. So yeah, there you go. 3 gentlemen's reviews, 3 quick 1000s. They will range from 30 minutes to no more than 2 hours for the Office Quest, my guess.
All right. Speaking of 30 minutes and easy 1K, looks like Game Pass game has been getting quite so many plays lately for GTASC.
And I'm mad about it.
Are you?
I am now.
You going to head this one up, Nate?
Sure. So the game we're talking about is Subnautica. And it's pretty special in that in the past week or so, Easy E2285 put together a series of steps using console commands on the Xbox that can be used to complete the game in 30 to 45 minutes. And then Bills from Achievement Land went ahead and made a video guide. And I think most people saw the video guide first and then saw the walkthrough, which was published, I want to say yesterday or whatever, but a day or 2 after the video guide was out. And basically, there is a hidden console in the Xbox version that you can access from the menu once the game has been started, and by holding the bumpers and hitting A. And it's a little fidgety. Funny story, I did it on xCloud, and when I did it that way, there was some sort of weirdness going on, and it just kept spamming the A button. So basically, anytime I would go into the game to try to do anything, I would type in I would do one of the console commands, and then I would back out, and then it would go right back into the console command as soon as I tried to move. So it was useless on xCloud. So I don't know if anyone else ran into that. It works just fine on the console directly, and that's what I then went to do a couple hours later and knocked it out. Basically just used Bill's video guide and got everything done. The most painful part, there are a couple pain points. One is loading in. So when you're using the teleport command, it takes sometimes up 20, 30 seconds for a area to load. And sometimes it doesn't even load correctly, and you have to load into that same area a second time. And then that tends to fix that problem. Right towards the end of the guide, you're tasked with saving. The reason you do this is when you back out, I guess achievements don't pop when the console command is up. So you basically need to do everything to get those achievements, to earn them. You then save your game, which takes, no joke, about 10 minutes. of just sitting there watching the prompt saying saving, you can move around and you can do stuff, and you can actually end the game and then mess up all your work for the past 30 minutes. So you do want to wait until that save message goes away. Once it does, you then quit out. You load the game back up again from that save point, which takes a couple minutes. And when that's done, then you can go ahead and complete the game by flying off in a rocket ship, basically.
You have auto pops as soon as you load in, and then if you did it correctly, if everything worked correctly, you'll have 2 achievements left, and then that's when you finish it off.
Yes. Yeah, and if you see more than those 2 achievements, I think Bill's actually time-stamped where each achievement should be in the video, so you can use that to go back and do whatever requirement wasn't met or whatever. It's probably something to do with having those little story blurbs come up. That's probably what didn't go for most people. Like maybe they didn't wait, they were impatient and they left before it completed and they got the status for it. That'd be my guess. But when I was following the video guide, I did everything that he was doing. I waited till all of the message boxes went away, and I had no issues. I had 15 of 17.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about you.
Same here. I followed the same video guide. I do want to point out that the actual text walkthrough is up on TA now. I think that was new probably yesterday. So if you're a text person, that one's there for you too.
Yeah, and it's got screenshots and everything, so I think it's actually a pretty good resource. Whereas the video, you have to pretty much watch the whole time. The screenshots do point you to important places, so you can just look at that, and that's pretty helpful.
Yeah, the worst part about it is that everybody's playing the game. On December 31st, the game tracked at just over 3,300 TA. Today, the game tracks at 2,700 and some odd change of TA. Most people did this on last GTAS period because it was juicy points, and it is dropping like flies. Not only did TA and its new influx of, I'm sure Twitter followers saw its tweet about it, I saw it trending on Reddit, and I saw somebody who works at Xbox tweet about it as well. So this is definitely getting the publicity of how we achievement hunters can take exploits and use them to our advantages.
All right.
Anything you want to say about it, Al?
Well, I have some questions. What was the estimate before this was found? Like 30 hours?
Keep going.
40? 50? 200?
This was an 80 to 100 hour game, I believe.
Wow. Now, are people... Looks like there's a couple butthurt people in the forums here.
Aren't there always?
Yeah, I think it was sitting at like 45, the average.
Yeah, it may have been 60 to 80 at that time. 80 to 100 sounds a little high, but yeah, there are definitely some people who are trying to take advantage of it for BCM purposes. But the completion estimate has tanked, and it is 0 to 1 now. But I will say, I don't know how long these console commands were around, but when I did it, the game had been updated like 2 days prior. So this is not like a game that's out of the update loop from the devs. This can be patched out. I would not sit on it if you were thinking about it.
Yeah, didn't someone find the cheat codes online as far back as a year ago, like you said?
Even further.
Yeah, I mean, there's the cheat codes. The dev commands. There were some out there that were about a year ago in an IGN article. Yeah, you're right. But I mean, you always got to speculate the worst case scenario.
Now, are you waiting for me to say things like you should not do this and you should play the game legit?
Well, on that,
I would never say
pretty
such
much,
a thing.
yeah.
Well, on that, I know several people who have played this game. My boss plays this game like legitimately and loves it. Has spent like he's a Minecrafter. He's spent thousands of hours in Minecraft. I'm sure he spent dozens of hours in Subnautica so far. He was trying to get me to play it, so I dived it before Christmas, and it actually had a cool premise. but I cannot see me playing it for 40 to 50 more hours. So I was ecstatic when this little thing popped up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried it because it was in Game Pass. I just don't like games that involve hunger and thirst and oxygen consumption. That's just not a resource I want to manage.
You hate
now
life.
I know you can turn that off. Yeah, it's like I have to do that while I'm playing the game. So it's like I'm doing 2 levels of
life?
that. That's just too much for my little brain to handle. I did like the art style. I did like kind of where it was going. It seemed very deep bluish.
It's a very pretty game, that's for sure. When it loads.
Yeah. It's not bad. I mean, it was kind of a fun game, but do I want to sit and play it for 45 hours? Not really. I mean, I'd much rather do, Jedi Fallen Order a second time on the next console.
Play Wonder Song all the way through.
Oh, man. You had to bring that up.
I'm actually doing that. I am actually doing that. So that one I'm actually not doing the cheat because I somewhat enjoy the game.
It's always that ethical line. I don't love it, but then I did it for Conan, and
this is no different than that.
Yeah, it definitely isn't.
If I had to manage my breath in Wander Song, I wouldn't do it. Then I'd
got to
use the
manage
cheats,
your breath in
but,
Manual
I don't
Samuel.
have to do that. Well, yeah, but
that game needs some cheats.
Get that one done. It was just that one
Elle and Adam, I don't see you on the on my friends list. Are you going to partake?
I don't know.
I know Adam said he's like, I'm done with the easy stuff. I'm just going to play games for fun, good games.
It's all about the metagame, and this is like the metagame of the metagame. Oh my gosh.
Like when games are quick and easy gamer score, but you actually play the game, I like to give those a shot, but when it's staring at a guide and entering in commands for 30 minutes to an hour, I just don't know if I want to spend that time doing that.
Just for imaginary points.
100%. That's what it's for.
If I had the ability to do xCloud, like I will say, I considered taking my laptop, my non-work laptop, with me to work, and then like just to take a lunch break and try to do it. Then
it's play anywhere, it says. So I guess you could type stuffs.
Yeah, you can do it on PC. It's the same list.
Yeah, the typing portion,
not
really,
much.
You're typing like 3 lines of text. Yeah, it's not bad. Total.
Yeah, on one hand, a half hour or an hour is not bad, but you could put that time towards something else.
Yeah, but you're not going to get 1,000 gamer score. That's something else.
I mean, if I was in GTASCTT currently, I would do it in a heartbeat. And maybe that's hypocritical, but I don't. Just for the hell of it, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Never say never, but
yeah, I've done
not high on the priority list. This game was not even on my radar at all.
Was it on your sonar?
There it is.
I saw it.
I thought about doing it just to get the Game Pass quest for it.
That alone is why it is probably as much TA it is. It's a long game, but I'm sure it wouldn't have 48,000 starters if it wasn't for that Game Pass quest, because the first achievement is for jumping in the water, which guess what? You can't do anything unless you jump in that water.
But then after you do that, it takes a bit longer to get another achievement unless you use those commands. I think it probably takes a good hour or 2 to get a second achievement.
Yeah, probably. Unless you know what you're doing, you can maybe get it a little bit faster, but not very much. I'm looking right now at our friend Freemhole, and he has 7 of the 17 achievements, and he has played this game for 18 and a half hours. He's enjoying it. It doesn't sound like he's going to use the glitch, so good on him.
Well, 2 months from now, we'll find out if he knows about the glitch or wants to use the glitch when he hears this episode.
I actually played a game recently that has its own glitch, and I had no idea. So I played through the whole thing, and then found out after the fact, like, wait, why is the TA so low on this? This game is a lot harder than a 0 to 1 hour completion. That game would be Invert,
Yes.
Apparently you can skip all the levels and just play the bosses. I did not know that.
That you can. Yep, I did.
So I got the death achievement naturally because I died a lot.
Yeah, there's one level where if you don't press anything, you insta-die. And so I just let that run for like 5 minutes. It was great.
So many of these little glitches and things, like, the wall jumping thing that was discovered in Elena Temple a while back. Some of those are nice because you still play the game, but you get a little extra help. But I don't know.
Definitely.
It's always going to be questionable stuff.
You did Fallout 3 PC, right? That's worse.
I didn't even have the excuse that I played it on the 360 first that other people tend to use.
At least this one you got to see the game.
Oh, my friend got the disc for it years ago when we were in the GTASCTT. It was like 2011 or something. And I totally just wanted to get it done before Games for Windows Live disappeared. I did it with the disc. I know a lot of people bought it from Steam, right? I still have the... it's this thing used to put in CD-ROMs called a CD or DVD.
I don't know what that is.
I know. It's crazy. It is crazy. But yeah, but we have rubber bands and we have turbo controllers and... Yeah, and boosting. All kinds of stuff. Well... As long as you're not bothering anyone else, right? That seems to be the line. As long as you're not messing with someone else in multiplayer, affecting someone else. You do what you got to do. Do what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And with that... Hey, you got any tabs open?
No, because that apparently annoys people.
It annoys
instead,
people.
I'm looking at some sales. Yeah,
He opened Windows for everything, separate windows.
All right. Does it annoy you, Nate?
It does not annoy me, no, because it's an actual thing. A tab exists in a browser.
Because
so
if it annoys you, I will redo the section. Hashtag wheeling and dealing. There.
Yeah, so I'm looking at Stunt Kite Party.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. $3.29 down from 10. It's 1,000 gamer score. It's 1,542 TA.
Wow.
It's listed as action, and it looks not horrible. It looks
never heard of this
interesting.
game.
Yeah, I know. Well, there's probably a reason.
The worst part is it's like, I don't know, 6 to 8 hours of mini games?
It doesn't say. I don't see an estimate listed under the game. I do see that 51 people have played it. So
That's it.
And 17 have completed it. So it's a 33% completion rate. So it is doable.
I like those odds.
Yeah, I'm probably getting myself into a Shark World situation here, but that's okay. I'm thinking I'm probably going to get this. Also looking at Inferno 2 Plus, which is $3.49 down from $5. 1,000 gamer score. It's 1,036 TA. That basically means you start it, you finish it. It's a shmup. It is under 1 hour estimate, and it looks colorful. And it reminds me of basically Tachyon Project. Just looking at the screens, it looks exactly like it. I had to check. The developers are not the same. But probably be picking that one up too. And then the last cheap game I was looking at was Lost Orbit Terminal Velocity. $5 down from 10. Your typical 1,000 gamer score with 2,167 TA. It's listed as action. This looks to be like a vertical runner type flyer. So instead of being horizontal, you're kind of flying vertically, and you're grabbing crystals, and you're using small planetoids, to orbit and slingshot yourself around that vertical pathway to, I guess, get through it faster. I'm not quite sure. It looks interesting. I'm gonna think about this one. Anything out there for you guys?
Yeah, I was gonna say you left one game off of the list.
No, there were a lot more games than that on sale.
Avatar: The Last Airbender is on
Carpe
sale for
Adam,
$3.99.
you ruined my thunder.
Oops, sorry, did not mean to do that.
It's
beauty
okay.
of
I don't think
editing-
any idiot. I don't know. We don't edit out anything here unless it's something I say. So don't worry. It's not a big deal. Well, as long as you mentioned Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Burning Earth. That's quite a name.
Yeah, I'm stuck to consider buying that again, even though I don't have a 360
No,
to play it
don't
on.
do it.
So I'd have to borrow
Just
someone's
don't.
360.
Just don't.
But see, that's one I can justify because it would take like 5 minutes. I don't mind that.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't even have to borrow it. You just go over to their house and then
I mean,
take off 5 minutes
I
later.
mean, you
and
can
you're
go to
done.
my house. I'm currently still borrowing my friend's copy, and you can come over anytime.
You're pretty far away.
No, we're both New Yorkers, so we're right down the street.
You're missing the air quotes.
No, the airbender quotes. Speaking of air quotes, we have a Jack Quest, air quotes, Vayner is 1 to 2 hours.
It took me longer than that.
It's definitely, well, there's a guide for that. $5, pick it up. And then TA suggests this other game, Inferno 2.
Weird.
Which is $3.50 instead of $5.
You don't say.
This looks
I
pretty.
feel like I've heard of
Oh, did you
Would
talk
you
about
say
that?
that
I
it
was
looks
sleeping.
colorful and reminds you of other colorful
Oh,
shoot 'em ups
I
like
was sleeping.
Tachyon
I
Project?
feel like I heard someone talk
And,
about this game already.
You know what else? It's the beauty of editing.
No. There's no beauty of editing here.
What if I curse a lot?
Well, then we'll see.
Damn it, Elliot. You're not supposed to do any of the ones that are on the easy list. Because the easy list is what Elliot reads.
I don't know this easy.
I've got
So you're
one
talking
that I
about
did not
TA's
write
easy?
down.
It's kind of like Geometry Wars. It's very colorful.
I've got one that I didn't write down. Do you have any more, El? I assume you're reading the easy list.
I was reading the easy list. I'm sorry, Koosh. It's lost in a fog. Set it out the whole
Fog.
show at this point.
Fog is coming later.
What the fog?
I do want to point out one
Frogger?
Fog with Elroy.
Oh, boy.
I do want to point out one game. It might not be up anybody's alley, but last week I praised Teslagrad, and if you bought that,
I did.
hopefully you've played it and beat it. Good. Good. It's a
I
great
just
game.
bought it
What?
last night.
Nice.
Well, its spiritual successor, World to the West, is on sale. $6 from $20. This game, its sale history is very almost non-existent. So I think it's probably been on sale at least once or twice before, but it came out in 2017. So if that kind of world interests you, I would say get this game. I got it physically right after we did Teslagrad. Unfortunately, I've only dived it. The completion estimate is 20 to 25 hours, but this would be a fun one to do where people were talking about it. So if that interest is there, I think that'd be fun. Anyways, it's an action adventure game. I couldn't tell you much about it. It's been so long since I played. But yeah, World to the West. Check that out if Teslagrad tickled your fancy at all. Not gameplay wise, but lore wise.
Yeah, I'll have to try it. I haven't had the opportunity yet.
I got one.
What do you got?
The makers of Teslagrad made World to the West. It's
No, you don't say.
Huh.
awesome.
Is it colorful?
Yes, it's very colorful.
Seasons
black
After
and white.
Fall is on sale too. I picked that one up a while back. Yeah, it's
a good
only
one.
$2.49.
I like it.
Okay.
We're starting this whole segment over, right?
Yeah.
Nate, you got any tabs open?
Diddly, diddly.
Fun
I get that reference.
All right, moving on. Game Pass has nothing we know about.
Yeah.
This is from last week?
This is from last week. I fully expect by the time this podcast comes out, we will know all the juicy details of February Game Pass.
Leave this section out.
So you should definitely check discord.io/AH101 to see all the talkings about it.
Yeah, some things changed from last week, like Plague Tale, Innocence, and Indivisible and Gris. Those all that were coming, they're now out. And then we've got a couple that are interesting, like Sea Salt, Xbox and PC, so we know it has achievements. Scourgebringer, PC looks interesting, but don't know if it has achievements. And then there's some fishing game, and nobody plays fishing games. So,
well, usually we wind up not hearing about this stuff until the day after, but we found out February's Games with Gold. And let me tell you, I usually don't complain about this stuff, but this is getting a little ridiculous now.
Really?
Yeah, really.
This is fine. This is fine.
All right, well, we have TT Isle of Man, which sounds like a perverted... I don't even know what it sounds like.
Do you own this game?
Temptation Island. I do not own this game.
Well, now you can play it.
Yeah.
Seems good to me.
Love them racing games. What else do we have? Call of Cthulhu.
No.
Which sounds like a...
Cthulhu. Call of Cthulhu.
No, it's Cthulhu. God bless you.
Call of Chipotle.
It sounds like a Metallica song.
The Revenge of E. coli.
Foof will know that one.
Just to put it in perspective, TT Isle of Man is showing up as a $72 game.
That is value.
What region are you in?
The U.S.?
Fable Heroes for the Xbox 360. What I can tell you about this game is that it's a 4-player online co-op game, so that counts for something.
That's right up your alley.
It is. But I remember there's a couple of achievements that you need to get yourself as well, so that's annoying. I don't remember why, and I don't remember much about this game.
That would be the annoying bit to you.
And I don't remember who I played it with. And
probably Michelle.
Sounds like a good bet.
Maybe your wife.
That's not a good bet. Oh, yes. Okay. Our buddy Boots Orion. That's it. He shows up every once and again.
Boots and cats and boots.
And Dwayne Dust. Got old friendos. Boots and boots and boots and boots. And we got an OG Xbox game, Star Wars Battlefront.
Okay, now this one, I can go with the poop reaction you gave earlier.
This has got to stop. If they ran out of 360 games, why not just give us 4 1 games? Will it really hurt them? No.
Yeah, these need to be tack-ons. These need to be freebies, like bonus to Games with Gold. Like, it shouldn't be part of our 4.
Definitely not.
When's the last time you played a Games with Gold game?
That's a really good question.
I've said it before. Probably the only OG game I would play would be Red Dead Revolver or Stranger's Wrath.
Oh, I would love to answer your question, but
Munch's Odyssey.
Some scoundrels took down the Games with Gold wiki.
Can't you just get it off of TA, or is that not accurate?
I don't think there's an actual listing on TA.
Yes, there is.
Like in order and the dates they came out?
No, probably not.
Right.
It's just the active snapshot.
Just if they're there
right now.
I think
I can't even tell you the last time I played one.
That night game, Big Crown Showdown's probably the last one I played.
Okay. Played that one.
But I got that game before it went to Games with Gold.
Oh yeah, me too. Same thing with Marooners.
I think I bought Marooners before. Yeah, I did.
Seems
They're
smart.
good for. All these games are great for contests. That's all I know.
A lot of games with golds are in Game Pass games.
There's even maybe a BCM category
Oh,
for games with gold.
I forgot to ask you guys something.
What?
You guys did talk about your burnout session last night, unless you were saving that for something.
Well, I think we thought Burnout was a little burnt out.
Yeah.
Well, real quick,
We did it. We did it.
what did you do? The 250 challenges?
I believe Koosh and I both got 250 challenges, and I completed my second set.
Now,
Yep, I got my 250.
now go look at the ratio on that.
Yeah, it's big.
When I reported on it, I think it was 2 weeks ago, it was a 9, and I think I saw it at like 9.46 today, which is just crazy. That's why I wanted to mention it.
Okay.
You burnt out on burnout.
Yes.
Well, we
Yes,
got
I
a
am.
Doom 2016 room now. Maybe we'll get that started. Or maybe we'll get back to Titanfall 360. Or maybe we'll just make some new channels when Corey goes to bed.
TT, Isle of Man.
All right.
You heard it here.
That'll be Isle
I
of
was
Men.
confusing
then.
that game
Yeah.
with Man of Medan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Motorcycle.
That would be a great
Medan.
mashup.
The man. It is Medan.
All right. Contest corner. Hashtag Gamertag Challenge. January's coming to an end. We say goodbye to Peter Pretty. And we have a new patron for February. Nate, take it away.
Yeah, so I've seen a lot of talk in the Gamertag Challenge channel. A lot of people are saying that they forgot about or they've been slacking on the PTART TX. Well, guess what? It is a short gamertag, so you got a couple days left. You might as well make a final push. But if you're done, we have a new gamertag next month, and we have rolled, and our Patreon member who gets to be our gamertag challenge for the month of February is Elaphalet77. He has not yet picked his bonus game, but when he does, we will make mention of that. And we have not picked the special bonus yet, but we will be mentioning that next week for sure.
So, yeah, next week it will already be started. I could probably guess that if you're in Discord, you'll get that right away when the month happens. Most likely,
pretty
maybe.
much within a day, within like the first day of the month, we update the sheet and I post a little thing there, letting everybody know that we're going.
Love it. Now, how do you spell Elaphalet77? Because that, might not come across vocally very well.
Well, when I spell it, I tend to misspell it, but the correct spelling of Elaphalet 77 is ELIPHELET 77.
77. So that means two different games that have numbers in them, right?
Exactly, and it could be any number. It could be anywhere in the title. It does not have to be the first character of the game's name. Just anywhere within the title of the game, any number that is a digit. So not spelled out 3, but the number 3. It would be fine.
Cool.
And 3 games, eh?
Yeah, so King of Fighters, whatever, we're looking at you. There's a bajillion of them. So I don't like to mention ACA games, but they come in handy for numbers.
Speaking of Gamertag Challenge, that you only have a few days left as of the podcast dropping to get your achievements unlocked and your entries in. And as we always do, those will be calculated and a winner will be drawn for that giveaway. Maybe on the next show, depending on how many entries we get, it might be pushed to the next one. But Patreon will also be drawn at the same time. So that's coming up in the next few weeks. If you want to get in on the Patreon drawing and you're not a patron, you have a few days to get that in. Just look up Achievement Hunting 101 to get to see all of our tiers, which basically is thank you tier for $1 and a I can't remember what it's called now, an achievement hunter tier for $5, which gets you into this giveaway and a lot of cool Discord perks at the time being. And it's a couple patron only content, right? Game shows and whatnot. It's pretty cool stuff. What isn't cool is the GTASC 2019 period that we just had. As Koosh mentioned and we mentioned last week, this was a double period, and double periods are not fun. This was a surprise double period at that. So with the influx of TA users from the decade thing and the ratios being all whacked, the period got extended. The eliminations doubled, so 8 teams went. I don't know how many individuals went, but I believe we are in the top 100 individuals. We are in the top 40 for the teams. Unfortunately, though, we lost some members of the community to this terrible, terrible ratio go uppity tragedy that affected GTASC heavily. No teams were gone, but from the individual side, we lost our Canadian friend, Jay Black. We are sorry that you are gone, and we will be looking forward to the team that you can't pronounce our names in your fight for GTASC fame.
So sorry.
I'm sorry, so sorry. It's an old commercial.
We are also very sorry, Cheerio. No, scratch that. What's a British thing? Chip. Anyways, Hatton 90, our poor Minecraft Hatton 90 boy. Well, the time has come. He could not get out of that deep hole that these ratios put him in, and he is now free from the wraths of his first GTASC. If you want to hear more about Hatton's story, look forward to Faces of GTASCTT by Elroy coming up later.
All right, Nate. I heard you have a little deep dive you want to share with us this week.
I do have a little deep dive. So the Game Pass deep dive for this week is Children of Morta. And this was on Game Pass. It still is. I think it recently just came out, I want to say a week, at the most 2 weeks ago. This is by developer Deadmage. This is their first Xbox game. The publisher is 11-Bit Studios. This game is cross-save enabled, so you can play it on the Xbox or the PC, and your save persists between the two. And that's how I played this game. So I played at night. I would play on the Xbox, and during the day when I had a little bit of free time between stuff I was doing at work, I'd go ahead and do like a 15-minute run through a level, and basically I would just go from platform to platform. It worked just fine. Other games I've done have not done that, but this one was just fine. It is $21.99, but once again, it is in Game Pass. It's got 1,000 gamer score, 3,993 TA at the time that I started playing it. Today, that value is 3,427. So it's gone down a little bit, but there is a lot of nice, juicy TA up in that game. It's about 20 to 25 hours, and that seems about right for my playthrough. But I gotta say, I loved this game. And if you look at my play history, basically once I started playing this game, this is all I played except for Boost Nights. This game just pulled me in entirely. It is a hack and slash, which it does not seem right at all. It's listed on TA as a hack and slash. But I really feel that this should be a role-playing, action RPG, or dungeon crawling. All the same things that a Diablo game basically is genred as. From the developer's website, this is the description. It says, Children of Morta sets its story in a distant land, but copes with themes closer to our daily lives that one would expect. It is a story of simple emotions we all know so well and value more than sometimes we dare to admit. Love and hope, longing and uncertainty, ultimately loss and sacrifice we are willing to make to save the ones we care the most for. Embark on the adventures of an extraordinary family of heroes. With the corruption spreading through the land, guardians of the mountain Morta have to stand up against the ancient evil. But it's not a story about saving the universe, it's a story about a valiant family standing together while the world around them is being devoured by darkness. So, I described it last week, I think, as basically it's the visual style of Hyperlight Drifter, and you're overlaying that with a unique narrator similar to Bastion. So, the really cool narrator in Bastion, you've got something similar to that in this game. It's not as cool as Bastion, but it is along the line. The gameplay and the side quest storytelling is basically straight from Diablo. So if you take those three things and you mash them together, you have, in my opinion, Children of Morta. And as far as the gameplay goes, you start out this game with a choice of two characters. One is sword and board. You're basically, a warrior, and you can block attacks with your shield, or you can use your sword. And then there's a ranger class, which is, typically use your bow. You can kind of dodge out. Every class has a dodge. And you will eventually be opening up other classes as you progress through the story. It's not based on your XP. It's based on, I think, how many dungeon runs you've done and which story markers you've crossed. Eventually, those other classes, I think they're in this order, are the Rogue, Barbarian, Monk, and Mage. And those are basically the Diablo equivalents of what they would be. As for leveling up, you do so by killing monsters. And every time you get a new level, you earn a skill point. Those skill points get applied to your character. And that character, as you level them up enough, they'll get to different tiers. Those tiers will then open up abilities that basically enhance everyone in the family. So, for instance, the archer, I think, opens up their movement speed. And basically every class has abilities that kind of make sense to that class that every other family member gains. Things like starting with a soul, and souls are used to buy abilities. You can also upgrade family traits back at the house for currency using the coins that you pick up. And those are done through the Book of Ray and the workshop. And these will also be applied to every character in the family. I would recommend basically upgrading the XP gain and the gold gain until they become too expensive and they cost you too many runs to upgrade them by another level. And then I would say sink things into movement speed, because that'll get you through the levels faster. It'll allow you to dodge attacks. You'll stay alive longer. That's the way I like to go in Diablo, and that holds true here as well. Achievements in this game, they're spread between progression-based, which are unmissable, and upgrading. Everything in this game, by the way, is unmissable. It's just how much time you're going to put into the game. Upgrading items, kill counts, collectibles, and side quest completions. Now, some of these are highly RNG dependent. You're going to be going through specific levels over and over and over again to get the side quest to show up. Because these levels are randomly generated. They're randomly stitched together. So some of the levels that you're in will have this encounter. They won't have this encounter. They may have this item or this room that has this item. And then you may not see it. It sounds pretty bad, but I only had to run about 4 to 5 of these levels after I was basically done with every other achievement. Fully leveling every character, buying all the perks I needed to buy. So I was really only doing about 4 to 5 additional runs after everything else had been done. So it wasn't that bad. Don't let that scare you. Some specific achievements to look out for that, you maybe want to benefit from a little bit of strategy from someone that's gone through it before. There's an achievement called Stronger Together, and this is for finishing a dungeon in co-op mode. Now, this is a local co-op game. Probably should have mentioned that at the top. I don't believe you can play this over the network, but or from Xbox to Xbox, you have to do couch co-op.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And as you are moving through this, it doesn't do like a rubber band effect. The screen won't split if you go too far. You basically lock the screen and somebody has to move in order for the other person to move. That's not ideal, but I don't really play this in co-op mode. So that's why I'm going to give you this tip. You should pair this achievement, Stronger Together, with another achievement called I Won't Let You Die. And that's reviving 5 times in co-op mode. If you're a solo player like me, you're basically going to have two controllers going at one time. You're going to have your main controller that you're getting all the achievements on. You're going to have your secondary controller that you're using basically to get these 2 achievements. You're going to let your second controller character die 5 times. And every time they die, you clear out the monsters around them, and then you revive them by walking up and holding a button. It takes like 2 seconds, and they're revived. You then run them into another monster or into a spike trap or something, flame trap, that will kill them, and then you bring them back. You only have to do that 5 times, and you get the I Won't Let You Die achievement. You're then going to want to keep working through to get through an entire level. Now, levels can be 2 floors, 3 floors, or 4 floors. I recommend you start with a 2 floor. And the very first level of the game is perfect for this. I would also recommend that you wait until late in the game to do this, when your characters are max level. And I would suggest using the mage character as your primary and the warrior character as your second controller. Now, the reason for this is the mage character has a, what is that ability called?
Magic.
It's magic. You basically create a clone of yourself, and you drop that clone, and then the monsters and whatever else in the dungeon will be attacking that duplicate and not you. While they're doing that, you can burn them down with fire very quickly because you are max level. Now, you also want to have the second controller, like I said, be the warrior, because you can put his shield up while they're attacking. So now you basically have 2 targets for them to attack and not attack you while you're killing everything. And this will make getting through that level while trying to drive 2 controllers very, very easy. Once you get to the end and you defeat that first boss at the end of 1-1, the achievement will pop, and you'll be done with that one. Another achievement I want to basically give you a tip towards is Richie Rich. Have 20,000 more or gold at one time. So this is not cumulative. This is in your possession at one time. I would like to say this is you're going to be tempted maybe to get this early, and you should just hold off, because towards the end of the game, once you've maxed out your morph gain percentage, it's going to be very easy to get 20,000 gold within 1 or 2 runs as you're grinding towards XP. And you're really going to want to be putting that towards other things that are going to make your runs more effective. And then the final achievement I wanted to talk about is Faithful. Now, in Faithful, you need to find 10 divine items in a single dungeon. As you're going through, you can pick up certain perks that you can use as abilities. You have other ones that are basically buffs that last through the rest of the dungeon run. And then there are buffs that are timed. So you start them, and then they have a short timer, and then they wear off, and then they're gone. So they're single-use items. Divine items are items that stay in your inventory for the entire run and then get lost at the end of the run, or they're the 2 abilities that you can use throughout that dungeon run on a timer. Now, in order to get all 10 of these, it is RNG-based, because these items will be dropping from boxes, they'll be dropping from monsters, and they'll be dropping from mini-games, rewards from mini-games as you're going through the game. Now, like I said, I recommend waiting until the end, because you'll have characters that can basically run through these dungeons without really fear of dying. You won't be on a perfect run and have just very little health left, and you just need to get that 10th item. It's going to be a lot easier for you to get this. In addition to that, one of the characters, and I think it's the Rogue, when he gets to his max tier bonus, it's going to start all of your characters with a single soul. And that soul currency is what's used to buy to open certain soul chests, which have a greater chance of having more gold or these divine items in them. In addition to that, now you want to unlock the shopkeeper, and he's early on in the game, so that's not going to be a problem. The rune mender is a little bit later in the game, actually towards the end of the game. If you don't open him, you have a better chance of finding 10 divine items. And the reason for this is one of the rooms has a chance to have either the shopkeeper or the rune mender if you've unlocked them both. If you've only unlocked the shopkeeper, then he's guaranteed to always be there. And this is important because the shopkeeper will sell you potentially these divine items for 3 souls each. If you get the rune mender, you won't be able to buy these items from him, and instead that'll be a wasted chance or a wasted opportunity to get some more divine items. So once again, you're going to want to go through, kill everything, open everything, only buy from the shop before leaving the floor, because once you leave the floor, you can't go back. And I recommend using level 2 because it has 4 floors, which gives you the most chance to get souls and to get these divine items in a single run. And like I said, I had a ton of fun with this game, and it basically stole my focus from everything else. And I highly recommend this game.
How long did you play it?
Oh, I don't even know. It doesn't even bother me how long I played it for, but I think, but then again, I'm not competing in GTASC. I'm not still alive. I think that the 20 to 25 hours is accurate. The estimate that's on the site. I don't think I spent 40 hours playing this game. So I'm pretty sure that 20, 25 is pretty close.
Good to know. What about the genre? You said that it should be like Diablo. You kept mentioning runs. It's not roguelite, right?
It looks like Diablo to me.
Yes, it's your favorite genre. It definitely has some roguelike tendencies to it, or characteristics to it. You will every time you start a run, so yes, it's roguelike, you will be starting with your base abilities that have been leveled up. Those will carry through, no doubt. When you start that run, though, you won't have any of these divine items. You won't have any of the single-use abilities, and you won't have any of the timer abilities either. But you'll pick them up in your run. You keep them for the length of the run. Any XP you've accrued during that run will carry over through all of your runs. And certain things that you unlock will also carry through, like the shopkeeper. You don't have to keep earning the shopkeeper. Once you get him, he's there for all the rest of your runs, which is why you want to hold off meeting that rune mender, because he's basically going to decrease your opportunities to get those items, those divine items, through future runs, which basically just makes the RNG work a little bit harder in order for you to get all 10 in one run.
I've heard really good things about this game from many people.
Yeah. Hack and slash is just wrong. It's just not hack and slash. There's much more to this game than just hack and slash.
I mean, I watched the trailer real quick, and it looked Diablo-esque to me, and that definitely is not a hack and slash designation, right?
Yeah.
Or is that one of them?
No, hack and slash doesn't, or hack and slash
RPG, dungeon crawler.
Yeah. Diablo does not have hack and slash as one of its genres. It's role-playing, action RPG, and dungeon crawling.
Vehicular combat.
Vehicular combat.
Always.
Bull riding.
So what you're saying is we probably shouldn't wait till we get the it's leaving announcement to play this game.
Well, yeah, unless you have, a full day, nonstop, no bathroom breaks to play it. Yeah, then you're... I would recommend maybe giving yourself 2 days.
Duly noted.
Thank you for that deepest dive, Nate. All right. #BradCamp. Corey, take it away, brother.
Starting off with completions, we have Nerve Bullet. He has reached a new milestone, 160 completed games. Iron Fist of Snuff has hit 180 games. Play Ultimate 711, 230 games. A new one for me, Cheetos and Vodka. He's done 290 completed games. And our favorite Wookiee, Chewy on Ice, has reached a new milestone of 500 completed games.
Oh, you know what game he did for 500?
Avatar?
That would be lame. Oh, he completed...
What did he do?
He completed Heimrich.
Heimrich
maneuver.
Heimrich.
Yes. And we were talking in Discord about how this game looks like it should be for kids, but then it's very bloody and violent, and for no good reason. So I just wanted to chime in with that.
Works for me. Congrats to those
players.
Now, sorry, I got taken back by this next one. Completion percentage.
Uh-oh.
Our very own Fufu Missing Poof has reached a new milestone of a completion percentage of 38%. Wow. I don't know if I've ever read his name on a milestone. It's been so long.
Oh, way to go, Foof.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. In TA ratio, LFL at 77 and Kronos both have a TA ratio of 1.7. Iron Fist of Snuff has reached a new milestone with a TA ratio of 1.9. In streaks, Hatton90 is currently on a 10-day streak, and he is tied with Carpe Adam 79 and KooshMoose. Elroy OMJ is currently on a 900-day achievement win streak, and Matt DB87 is currently on a 2,875-day achievement win streak.
That's a lot of days.
Do you know what's special about his streak?
I think I know it, but tell Adam.
He starts a new game every single day.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a lot of games.
And he's like one of 2 or 3 that do that.
That's expensive. My goodness.
He has been known to buy games and pop an achievement and sell them. And people buy them from him. So
well,
he at least gets some money back, I think.
Interesting. Under Achievements 1, we have Ragnarok0272, who's reached a new milestone of 14,000 Achievements 1. In Gamerscore, we have FufuCuddilyGonePoof. Wow.
Wait, what?
I know.
Again.
He's been playing some games, I guess, with 150,000 Gamerscore. And Chewy on Ice has reached 480,000 Gamerscore. B. Smiddle hit the 500,000 Gamerscore. Good job, buddy. Redemption Denied with a paltry 2,150,000 Gamerscore. So I guess good job playing games, guy.
I was going to make a comment real quick that, now that Fufu is not here this week, I could see that that's why there's a bunch of the 10-day streak showed up.
Well, that's just a weird coincidence,
it's unbelievable.
So weird. Special category for the week, Zombieland Double Tap Free Play Weekend Completions. We have Freemhole, Chin Doctor, Kingsman 2625, Beer Me 7, Redemption Denied, Philip Wendell, Sasha Morning, Ragnarok 0272, and myself.
Hey, do you know what game Smitty did his 500,000 with?
Avatar.
Heinrich?
Believe it or not, it was Children of Morta.
Nice.
And he completed that game also. Good job, Smitty.
Good job. Oh, that must have just been today because I was just talking to him about it.
Yeah. It's good GTASC points, too. Go ahead, sir.
By sir, you mean L?
Well, you have... Wait, what? That's me.
Yeah.
All right. TA score. There's a lot here, so bear with me. Hat 90, 200,000 TA score. RIP. High Road, 600,000 TA score. High Road Fitutu, who incidentally is my BCM lovebird. Skeptical Mario, 670,000. Chewy, 740,000. Kitty Skies, 900,000. Chad and Jesse, 920,000. Chipapapa hit 1 million TA score.
Wow.
What game did he play?
Probably Trials.
Oh, you blew it.
The Last Airbender.
Don't
read that one.
I'm not reading any of these. Fine. Jimbot South Korea has reached a milestone of 1,370,000. Just wanted to read his name because he's a lovable chap. Carnage, 1.7 million. Ow Nitram, 2,480,000. And Sangria's 2,730,000. And we just like to read these high numbers, even though they're not quite fancy round milestones. because they're fun. All right. Fun leaderboards. Kingsman is now in the top 10,000 of the gamer score leaderboard for Connect required. Big L just joined that leaderboard. Hopefully he shows up in a fun spot next week. Kronos is now in the top 1,000 of the USA Gamerscore leaderboard. Nicely done. Hat 90 in the top 1,000 of the England TA leaderboards for basketball.
It's been a while. We were due
Missed
for
that
one.
so much.
We were due for one.
FufuCuddilyGonePoof is in the top 5 of the Maryland Gamerscore leaderboard for tower defense.
Top 5, guys.
Top 5.
He's a top fiver.
Yep.
But they spelled defense weird on the site.
Yeah. They do that from time to time.
Unbelievable.
Now, I think I'm number 7, so I'm coming for you, Foof.
Oh, that's right. Same state.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, hashtag outro. We done. Period. You could find us on the Twitter tweets at twitter.com/achievements101. Maybe one of these days we'll stream something on mixer.com/AH101. Patreon. We covered this earlier, but please, we really want to see Kenny dance to Victoria's Time to Shine. We're almost.
I'm going to lower that goal.
To do it. While he's quote unquote sick. Do it. Do it.
If
do
we
it now.
all just donate a few dollars,
let's do it.
In 1 month, we can get this Victoria stance.
And then we can use Mixer to stream it.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, if you're not in the Discord, what are you doing? Get in the Discord, discord.io/AH101. One more thing that I wanted to mention. As my family and I came out of the Lion King show, what's the first thing anybody would do? Hop on the Facebook. Right after that was over, we learned about the passing of Kobe Bryant. I just wanted to pass along condolences to Kobe and his 13-year-old daughter, as well as the 7 other people on the flight. It's times like that that you hug your family a little bit tighter and tell your loved ones that you love them. So, love you all. And to all, a good night. Adam, thank you so much for joining us. Do you have any departing words as you're doing sit-ups there?
I wasn't doing sit-ups. I was just fixing my camera so I don't look like Wilson from Home Improvement anymore. But I just want to say thank you guys for having me on. I really enjoyed myself tonight, and I hope I get a chance to do it again sometime. I really enjoy the community you guys have been building. Love spending way too much time in the Discord when I should be doing other things. But this has been a blast, so thanks again.
All right, everybody. Good night. Or good morning.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
What's up, everybody? X here with another gentleman's review for Paperbound Brawlers. This game came out on January 10th for $9.99. Why can't we just say 10? Came out for $10 and is yet another local multiplayer party brawler. If you've played Mimic Arena, Black and White Bushido, Hyper Jam, Dad Beat Dads, you get the general idea. I mean, I've played tons of party games solo for achievements, and Kelsey and I usually play at least a couple rounds to get the party aspect out. Most of the time we end up uninstalling them pretty quickly because they're not very good. We just don't have fun with them. But we actually kept this one. It was genuinely a blast, even with just 2 people. And honestly, if you have a group of 4, you're going to have a great time. I genuinely enjoyed this game. So the premise is to be the last man standing, and how do you accomplish that? Well, in the spirit of the game, called Paperbound Brawlers, you are a hand-drawn character. You have a melee weapon. For some characters, it's a pencil, which makes sense, and others, it's a club or an axe, which doesn't make sense. But you have your melee weapon and 2 projectiles, one of which is a pair of scissors, and the other is a bottle of ink. You can reflect the scissors and the ink, which adds a cool aspect to it, but the timing is a little tricky. Everything is a one-hit kill. And it's, like I said, even with 2 people, we had a blast, and the matches were hectic, and they went pretty quick, and they were just a lot of fun. If you are only interested in playing for the achievement, you'll be happy to know that you can get them all in under an hour if you have 4 controllers. If you don't have 4 controllers, you can do some of them with 2 or 3, but you won't be able to get the full completion. You can technically get them playing legitimately, but it would be incredibly difficult. I don't know if anyone has done that. I feel like everyone that's completed the game self-boosted. The one tricky aspect to earning the achievements is that if you are self-boosting with dummy controllers, you can't just kill 3 opponents who are just standing there. All 4 players actually need to be active, otherwise the achievements don't unlock. In my case, I just had Kelsey wiggle the analog stick on the 3 dummy controllers back and forth while I did my thing on the lead controller, and I didn't have any problems once we figured that out. None of them are tricky. You'll get most of them on your first try. You'll get most of them in one match if you know what you're doing going into it. As far as the game itself, there's a couple different modes. There's a death match. There's a last man standing kind of thing, but they're all generally the same idea. Don't die. There's a handful of maps to choose from. There's probably like 25, but none of them are radically different. I don't mean to say that as a bad thing, just that within a few matches, you've seen everything the game has to offer. So on that note, I would give the game an 8 out of 10. It was genuinely a blast, but there's not much to it, so I can't give it a 9 or a 10. That's where you have a game that, it's something, a new experience every time. This game just doesn't offer that, but what it does offer is a lot of fun. If you're only in it for the achievements, I would say wait for a sale. It's just not worth the $10. If you want a party game that's actually a lot of fun, though, it is absolutely worth the $10. Make a drinking game out of it and have a good night. So like I said, I give it an 8 out of 10 for what it is, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do.
The dreaded, super inflated 2-week elimination of Period 29 in GTASCTT has finally reached an end. When the dust settled, it was clear. Our guest may have 90 hats, but he certainly did not have the 9,000 points he needed to stay afloat. Things looked bleak, but then he started to turn things around. LL Cool J once said, "Don't call it a comeback." We won't, because it wasn't. Because he didn't. He lost. Joining us today is no other than GTASCTT's 109th place winner. He is Hatton90. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good, thanks. And you?
All right. Oh man, so I'm glad to see that you're in good spirits, given the situation and of how we meet here.
I think if you don't laugh, you're only going to cry. So,
well, I guess I'm laughing. But, I appreciate you joining us today. On this very devastating day, no doubt. And but before we get to find out more information about this, why don't you just give us a little more information about yourself? Like, give us a little glimpse behind the curtain of who is Hatton90.
Okay. Well, Hatton90, real name Chris, from the UK, as you probably can hear from my accent.
I knew there was something different about you.
I'm hoping all of our American listeners could understand my English.
I have that feeling every time I talk, honestly.
Other than that, big into sports games, as everyone who's listened to the AH101 podcast probably knows by now, with my own little category with the leaderboards. Only really started achievement hunting about a year ago, so hence why the ratio go-uppity did not go in my favour.
Yeah, so we'll be getting to that in a second. So you said you'd been doing it for about a year. So, like, what kind of gamer would you characterize yourself as? Like, what's your thing? What is it that Hatton should be known for?
I'm probably quite casual. I like to kind of pick up and play. I'm not well known for diving into games that are going to take me about 250 hours to complete.
Oh, I feel you there.
I like to kind of, if I get a spare half an hour, to just pick up a game and be able to play it straight away rather than try to think too much.
And once you play it straight away, if you don't finish, do you just shove it away and forget about it? Is that kind of why you have a 31.8% completion percentage here?
Yeah,
a third of the game.
I think I have all the years that I wasn't achievement hunting to thank for that.
Would you like rent every game and play it for like an hour? What's going on there?
Well, I think it's back then I used to play a lot more multiplayer games, like sports games and stuff like that, and they never used to have a lot of achievements. It's only really now that there's a lot of boosted achievements. So like the older ones, I never really played campaign and things like that.
See, I was always the other way around. I'd play the campaign, but hell no on the multiplayer. So that's kind of a recent thing for me. But so I was looking at your stats. It looks like you have just over 2 foofs. Congratulations. I guess you got that somewhat recently, right?
No, I'm only 110,000 on Gamerscore.
How much?
110.
Man, is my notes just bad or what? What am I doing here? Okay, hold on a second. You can tell I'm a trained professional. I was only off by 90,000 gamer score there. Maybe that's your true achievement score.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's your T. That's your TA. Oh yeah. You see, you look on their webpage, and they're kind of like right next to each other. They both got a circle next to them. Yeah. So you got just over 1 foof. What would you get for the 100K there?
I just try and find it now, but it was a sports achievement. I think it was an achievement called Centurion in an NBA game, which was to score 100 points in a game. So kind of tried to make it relevant.
Yeah, I see. That's pretty good. All right. Well, there you go. I'm glad we cleared that up. So your TA is just over 2 foofs. So here's a question for you. So I see you got a 1.81 ratio, which is really high from my point of view, given I'm down to 1.3 something. But which one of those do you think charts higher on the overall site? Do you think your 200 something TA score or your 1.81 ratio is a higher on the global leaderboard?
Or I'm going to say the TA, because I think I've just got into the top 50,000.
Oh, man, you're so good at this. Yes, you are actually 48,414th on TA, and then just behind it, just barely, is your 1.81 ratio is in the top 50,000 as well. It's 49,464th.
Oh, didn't know that one.
Yeah, there you go, man. So that's pretty cool. Congrats on that. So there you go. So let's go ahead and address the Elephant 77 in the room here. So why were you having so much trouble booking tickets for Bad Boys?
The cinema hadn't released the times.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's crazy. I was looking at that. I was really worried for you there. I mean, that was insane. I
do not use my Twitter very often. Only to complain.
I see. Yeah, I was looking for some information, and all I saw was something about tweeting about Bad Boy tickets. So, are you pretty excited about this movie? Or
I mean, it was a good film.
Oh, okay, yeah. I have never seen any of them.
It's cheap laughs, I think. There's not much storyline to it, but if you're going to be happy just laughing along to some guys shooting everything up, it's not too bad.
Did you go watch the first one when it came out in theaters?
I think I watched it when it came out on DVD. I think I might have been too young to
I was going to say, the first one, it looks like it came out in 1995. I was in high school back then.
As you can probably guess from the 90 in my gamer tag, I was 5 years old.
There you go. Man. All right, yeah. I remember that came out. Yeah, I was a junior in high school. So, and then the second one came out in 2003, and then I guess is the third one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
2020.
Apparently, there's going to be a fourth one. I'm not sure they should.
In 2045 or sorry, they take their time on those. That's pretty good. All right, so we're here to talk about GTASCTT. So take me back to the day when you first signed up for GTASCTT. What were your expectations? What did you hope to accomplish?
Well, I didn't really know what it was when I first signed up. I just sort of got the site notification, and it said that there'd be a community challenge badge, and I thought, yeah, I'll have a look at this.
You like those badges, huh?
Well, I missed a couple from the first few years that they started doing them, but I kind of want to pick up all the ones that I can from now on. When it said that, I thought, yeah, I'll sign up, not really thinking too much of it. But then the closer it got, I kind of realised it was a bit of a big deal to the hardcore among us.
Yeah, so I assume you haven't listened to the podcast a whole lot where X and I basically talked about how it ruined our lives last year.
I think I touched it because I joined, like I say, I joined late. I think I heard that a little bit, but that must have gone out of my mind.
Yeah, we had a great wrap up. Yeah, I was like, oh, this is terrible. X is like, yeah, it's the worst thing ever. And then even Redemption, he won it, and he's like, yeah, I'm not doing it again for a long time. So yeah, we have really glowing recommendations for it. But yeah, here we are. So I was the only idiot that re-signed up for it. They were men of their words. I was not, however. Yeah, that's a different story. So you, so I take it you hadn't participated in any other ones of it?
Not of the other GTAS, no.
Okay, and so you decided you went for team and individual. So what was the thought process? Jumping in with both extra badges, or
well, if you're gonna do one, you might as well do both of them.
That's true.
I didn't think it was gonna be too much different between the two, kind of thing.
Yeah, I found that they really are like this year, because it seems like the team one is way far ahead of where the individual one is at. Like, as far as the competitive level of it, like, I don't know, maybe it's just from my point of view. Like the team one is like balls hard, man. You gotta like go all in on that thing, and then the individuals, I don't know. To me, it's not as difficult yet, but it's getting there fast. But
yeah, I think with the lower amount, like the team's already in the top 50,
yeah.
So I think you're already getting the hardcore kind of out.
Yeah, for sure. So did you put your team together? Who came up with this wonderful name and all-star squad over there?
Well, I think it was when the channel got booted up in the Discord. I think there was a couple of teams going around that needed extra players, and I think I was booked to be on someone else's team, and then they realised I was in England, so they didn't think they'd be able to boost with me. So
it could have been your gamer score that kind of scared them off as well.
I think they were just being nice, because I think back when it started, I was probably only on about 50 or 60,000.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, this guy. Yeah.
So then a couple of the other British guys in Eliphalet and Mark B, we decided to come together, and we pretty much said to each other, well, we all want to get to week 10 to get the badge. We're not really thinking about anything too far in front of that kind of thing.
Okay.
And I think the name might have been one of the Skeptical Mario puns that were bandied around in the very first couple of weeks.
Speaking of skeptical, have you heard his hit song about Vayners? It was on the last podcast.
Yeah, I've recorded it, downloaded it, I've played it multiple times.
Freaking amazing, Mario, my man. I can't wait. I hope he's working tirelessly on the Rattle Like About You. That would be amazing. Well, we shall see. But yeah, that was good stuff. So, but I like to dive into the stats here. So I have a wonderful little chart I put together here of your performance in the individual side that led us to where we are now. So I was just kind of looking through it. It looks like you kind of started off slow at it. So like you said, you kind of casually got into the competition. It looks like it took you up to about week 7 before you first started kind of making some waves here. So you finished 525th place, 857th, 1,075. So that kind of kept going. And then you finally stepped up in week 7, 224th place for the week. And then from there on, you pretty much were pretty solid for the most of the weeks. Were you aware of what happened in period 12?
Can't remember off the top of my head, no.
Well, ironically, it is off the top of your head. In period 12, you finished 90th.
Oh, I should have made note of that.
It was some definite synergy here. I mean, number 90. Oh man, I couldn't believe it. I made sure to highlight that one. So you kept going. Actually, period 11 and 12 were amongst your best. You finished 73rd and 90th respectively, and then you kind of went on, and then we get all the way down to period 2021. So at that point, you were just on top of your game. You were feeling it. You were at the peak, man. You were looking down on people. I mean, you were number 19 in week 20, and then you were number 34 in week 21. I mean, tell us a little bit more about these good days that you can reflect on period 20 and 21, where everything seemed to be going right.
Better days than the last couple of weeks, obviously. I think what it looks like is that me and the other people in the team decided to kind of make a play to finish higher up the team leaderboard. So we started doing a couple of things together, getting some high kind of multiplayer achievements. I think looking at week 21 was Grid 2. I think also looking at the stats, week 20 and 21 was the week that I discovered Minecraft.
Yes. So I noticed that your Discord name. Well, why don't you go ahead and explain your Discord name to everyone here?
The Discord name is currently Lil Hatton Minecraft Boy.
So how'd this come into effect here?
Well, I'm guessing when the ratio go uppity experience of 2020 started, I think everyone realised that I was kind of languishing at the bottom, so decided to kind of pull out every stack that I had of Minecraft, even finding an old phone in the drawer to download the Android version. And I think someone that can change names in the Discord decided to take it upon themselves to be creative.
Yeah, I mean you're boy with an I. I mean that's boy. I mean that's something there. So which stack did you start with, or which Minecraft was your entrance drug, so to speak?
iOS, because it was toilet Minecraft while
man, toilet Minecraft is the best. I mean, you got so much time in there.
The cut-offs for us British guys are midway through the day. I think back then it was 12, but it's now 1. So it was perfect for just quickly having an early lunch to make sure you were safe with a bit of toilet Minecraft.
Did anybody get a little suspicious how every Monday you disappeared into the toilet for a few hours?
Just started putting random things in my calendar at work, just out of the office, meeting, private. Yeah. So I think I got away with it.
All right, yeah. I'm sorry that you're out of I assume you're out of Minecraft. You have to wait for the next update for more toilet Minecraft.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So let's look at week 20 and 21. So those were the best weeks. Now, I'm afraid it's about to turn dark, because in period 22, the team is eliminated. Magic Hat Mark's Elephant Training Club. And Elephant 77 only chipped in a measly 500 points. But so how did the news hit you when you found out that Magic Mark Magic Hat Mark's Elephant Training Club was no more.
I was quite upset. I did shed a tear.
Yeah.
I think that morning I wasn't able to do Toilet Minecraft and had kind of left the thing thinking, well, I'm safe. The other guys had already dropped out of individual.
Oh wow!
And I thought we were safe. I think when I went to work, I think we were about 1,000 above the line. But that rising tide gets you.
For sure.
Closer it gets to the cut-off, and none of us were able to do anything about it.
I didn't notice, but did y'all have any bonuses that you didn't use that?
I think we went out with 2, maybe.
Oof.
But again, the cut-off time for us is like 3-4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah.
So you
That's
kind of
terrible.
have to plan like a few hours before that as to whether you think you're going to be safe or not.
Yeah. It's for me, it's 11 o'clock at night, and I stayed up last night, and God, I'm dead tired already today. Yeah. So it's at least 3, but man, yeah. So period 22. I mean, I could tell that it affected you deeply because after period 22, your performance just began to slip a little bit. It was in period 23 and 24 that it all kind of came crashing down.
I think that's when the bonuses started getting used.
Yes, you started using bonuses. You started using them a lot. So in period 23, you used 2 bonuses, and then to get your rush in period 24, you used 3 bonuses, and then you got clean in period 25, and then in period 26 you relapsed and you were bonusing again, and then you stayed clean for a few weeks, and then that kind of led us up to the dreaded period 29. So let's just go ahead and talk about last week, the last 2 weeks of just what happened. So take us back to where it all went wrong. So let's say that there's a big old apple blame pie, all right, to share for all those who are responsible for your downfall. So I'm going to name an individual, and I want to know the percent or fraction, I don't know what they use in Britain, of the apple blame pie that you give them. All right? Phil Spencer.
Definitely about 40%.
40% of the blame pie?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me jot that down. We got Phil Spencer at 40%. Okay. Twitter.
I don't think they're to blame as much. Maybe only about 10%.
10%. Okay. So they're culpable. I mean, that was the platform by which it spread. All right. The 100,000 new users.
Well, is there another pie on offer? So I think they decide they need to get their own pie. I think.
Okay, so I'll just put own pie. So back to own pie. Okay. All right. Rich Stone.
I don't think he gets anything. I think he tried to help me with extending for a week.
Okay.
I think
all right, so
he done what he could.
Okay, so no pie for Rich. All right. No new Minecraft DLC.
I think that's another pie.
Oh man, we gotta get busy in this bakery here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Period 24.
Yeah, I think that's down to me. I think I deserve some of the pie for that.
Oh, well, I'm glad you mentioned that. The last one. Yourself.
Yeah, after what was it? 50% that was left from Phil and Twitter. I think I've got to take the 50.
We got 2 pies and approximately 50% of the original pie. So we got 2 new orders and
Yeah,
so
I think I'm taking that half.
Okay, so we'll give you half the pie. So half the pie goes to you, 10% to Twitter, 40% to Phil Spencer, and then 100,000 new users get their own pie, which spread very thin, and then Minecraft gets their own pie for not releasing any new DLC for you to play this last 2 weeks. So okay, that seems fair. I mean, I don't have any problems with any of that. That's I'm gonna have to get back to the bakery though. So so when did you know that it was all over? Like when did you get that overwhelming sense of doom and that this just wasn't going to happen?
I think I had it the kind of first time the the ratio went up for everyone else apart from me.
Oh yeah, that was bad.
I think there was one point. I think it might have been Waka in the Discord that said that he refreshed and it went up by about 10,000, and then refreshed again and it went up by another 5,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
I thought, I wonder what I'm gonna get. Refreshed, I think I got about 300. I think it was then that I kind of told myself, yeah, you're going out. But I put on a brave face. I told everyone, no, I'll be able to do it. But I think everyone knew that I was just lying to myself.
Yeah, is that when you threw in one of your 90 hats?
Yes, I think I threw all 90 of them.
You just threw them in. So the expanded inflations, is it possible that you didn't receive any of that because you just don't have any gamer score?
I think that's what it comes down to, and I think
so. It's not just free. It's not like Oprah handing out, free. I thought that was what's going on, but it sounds like you actually had to have gamer score to receive, these bonus points.
I think you have to play good games as well. I don't.
Oh, yeah, that's where it get me.
Yeah, I think all of my sports game, I just don't think people they've either got those achievements or no one plays those games.
Okay. Have you? How much did you end up receiving? Did you get anything like 500 points, or what are we talking here?
X calculated it for me, and I think he said there was about 4,000 or 5,000. He reckons that I got in total as an inflation. But I think everyone else averaged out at about 20 to 30.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much I got. I think I only got like 15,000 or something like that, which is pretty remarkable since I have, about 8 times the gamer score than you. I didn't get hardly anything either, so I feel your pain, man. So if this hadn't happened, how far do you think you would have been able to take this thing?
I was coming to the end, I reckon. I was getting there.
You were going for 90th place, weren't you?
I mean, it would have been nice. I'm quite glad I finished in 109. I can take that away that I meant that.
Yeah.
But I think I would have been 1 or 2 more weeks at most. I'd run out of Minecraft.
There's other games on the Xbox that you can theoretically play, but
but why would you?
Throw that in there. Well, there's this. You say you like sports games, so there's a Rawker sports game called the football game that you should try. It's amazing.
I think I've got 2 rats on my game attack at the moment. I think that's about it.
Yeah, there's one called football game. You should try it. It's an exciting football game.
I would try that one just for you.
Oh man, I appreciate it. Let me know what you think. It's pretty cutting edge football technology or something.
Well, I've been impressed by the 2 that I have played. I mean, they're AAA games.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. And it's really helping your ratio, no doubt, right?
Yeah. That's where the 1.81's coming from.
Yeah, I mean, they just super inflate it. So, so looking back on the whole thing, what was your highlight from this whole thing? What theoretically, if you lose your mind and you actually sign up for this stupid contest ever again, what would you reflect on as the good times?
The good time was the 1 week that our team came number 1 in the period, and we got interviewed by Plantin. So that was quite nice. Was it a better interview than what I'm doing? No, nothing could top this. not even Ellen or Oprah.
Oh, that's all right. Shoot. Well, that's cool, man. Which week was that?
I can't actually remember now.
It's got to be 20 or 21, right?
I know that I pumped a lot of bonuses in, which didn't go down too well in the forum. Because we were beating a team by about 1,000 TA ratio, TA difference, and I think I put about 6,000 bonuses on just to make sure that we would.
I am looking at
get number 1.
It says period 20, and y'all definitely won the period. I'll give that to you. You had 16. I mean, you would have won outright. You had 16 or 15 and a half TA, and then you added 6,000 on it just to dunk on everyone. Second place was 14,000. So Yeah, that's some good bonus management there.
Yeah, I did have to. That was me. I did have to apologise to the Elephant and Mark quite profusely, especially when we went out, and they probably could have done with that extra.
Yeah, I was gonna say
6K bonus.
But you say, well, you earned you 2,000 for that, right? I mean, for being the period top scorer. So don't you get like 2,000 for that?
Not this year.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, all you get is the interview. I think it's if you get the most TA or achievements or something like that. But the actual coming number one doesn't actually matter.
Oh. Well, that's good to know. Not that my team has ever gotten remotely close to that. We like to kind of float in the middle to the bottom middle. Don't want to use up anything extra in the tank.
Right.
So yeah.
You went further than our team, so.
Yeah, just we're hanging in there, top 40. It's getting rough though, but anyway, well, so. Now that you're out, I guess you just get to endorse from the sidelines. So we still got several people in the community that are still doing very well in this. So I guess you just get to root them on. And I'm sure you're secretly waiting to see who gets 90th place. And
yeah, I was gonna contact them and see if they want to join the 90 ranks.
Yeah, that's they may be feeling kind of bad though, because that would mean they're eliminated this week. So be gentle, yeah. So, well, I appreciate you joining me. Is there anything else anything you want to promote? Anything you got some closing thoughts for us?
No, not really. The only other thing I'd like to say is a big shout out to the rest of the Euro guys. There's a Euro boosting channel now in the AH 101. And we try to get together every Thursday, so if there's people that can't get in on any American action to join us, we're currently boosting, I think, Sunset Overdrive and Tomb Raider. So if anyone needs that to hit either me or Chewie up.
Those sound like real games.
Not interested then.
Yeah. Shoot. And if anybody needs any Minecraft assistance, they know to get in touch with you as well.
Yeah, so I can still get that drug.
Yeah. As long as you're on the toilet.
Oh, yeah, that's the only way to play.
Yeah. So make sure you play your toilet Minecraft and to play it often. That's what I'm hearing. So there you go. Well, I appreciate you joining me, and sorry that you got eliminated, but. It was a hell of a run, man.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us on Faces of GTASCTT.
Hello everyone and welcome to Waka's Weird Wonders. I'm Waka Pale, and yes, this is a new microphone. In March of 2016, Cyber Rhino Studios released the medieval 2D shoot-em-up Gryphon Knight Epic for the Xbox One after a barely successful Kickstarter campaign. A few years ago, a group of adventurers saved the kingdom from a dragon terrorizing the land, and all of them got an awesome magical weapon for their efforts from the dragon horde, except Sir Oliver, who ended up with a leftover pendant and a princess instead. The game starts out with Sir Oliver and his Gryphon embarking on an epic quest to get dinner for his wife and baby son, but ends up fighting a shadow copy of himself. He is told his adventurer friends have all been cursed by the magical weapons they recovered from the dragon, and he sets out to save them by repeatedly shooting them with his magical crossbow and then lift the curse with his magical pendant. I like shoot 'em ups, but I'm not very good at them, and found Gryphon Knight Epic's relatively slow pace and highly varied levels fun and at first challenging, but fairly easy after a few attempts. While the screen can get very busy at times, I wouldn't call it a bullet hell. Dodging enemies and projectiles takes some getting used to due to Oliver's huge hitbox, but once you learn the levels and boss patterns, it is not too bad. The game has 14 levels, which are around 5 minutes each, and while it is possible to earn all achievements in a single playthrough, in practice you likely play most levels a handful of times if you're going for the completion. Gryphon Knight Epic has 70 achievements worth 1000 game score and 2100 TA, with an estimated completion of 10 to 12 hours. For G-task purposes, this is not a great choice, but there are some potentially fast true achievement difference to be had from completing each level without taking damage, which at first sounds very difficult, but in practice is fairly easy using the Shield Squire, which lets you get hit multiple times without taking damage. There is level select, which allows you to easily jump between levels, and after defeating the final boss you get the highly versatile Shadow Crossbow, which can kill enemies and bosses in a fraction of the time of using your ordinary crossbow. I recommend playing through the game blind at first to get a feel for the levels, then look up a guide for any collectibles you missed, as there are not very many of them. The complete all levels on the highest difficulty achievement is slightly glitched, requiring you to finish the final level with all others done to make it unlock, so save the final level for last. There is a speedrun achievement for completing the game in less than 2 hours, which sounds daunting, but is surprisingly easy, since you can copy your save with in-game save slots if you mess up or take too long. I would advise combining the speedrun with the purist achievement, which tasks with completing the game only using the crossbow and not buying any upgrades. A playthrough while skipping cutscenes and going for the purist achievement is around 70 minutes, which gives you plenty of leeway, but be aware that the time is still ticking while in cutscenes and the game is paused. You also have to do this from a brand new save file, as the time is added up, and improving a level time does not lower the total time. Doing research on Gryphon Knight Epic, I noticed the opinions of it was surprisingly mixed, with some really liking it, others hating it, and most reviews ended up somewhere in the middle, some of them calling attention to this surprise ending. Gryphon Knight Epic is not a fantastic game, but I highly enjoy this polished indie and its 70 achievements. Have a nice day, everyone.